LOL, and welcome to Warriors of Attraction. My name's Anne Deval, and tonight I'm doing this solo because obviously Andrea has got a family commitment to take care of. So I'm going to be joined. Hopefully, she's just sorting tech issues out and stuff like that. Sabrina Victoria for the first time. Obviously, you have seen her do a show with Terry Ferreira, a while back. So obviously, she's going to be here, and we're going to be combining two topics into one. Now, obviously, we are going to be talking about the power of the mind and going into detail on how powerful our both conscious and subconscious mind is and how it can actually benefit our lives. Also, action speaks louder than words. So obviously, Sabrina is here. So I'm going to be playing our video and we will dive into it. So please share this in awareness and let's get rolling, and bring your questions as well. So let's do this because this is our 670th video on YouTube. So let's do this. Hello, Sabrina.
Hello, 670?
Yeah, YouTube video, yes.
Oh my gosh, that's so freaking cool. Good on you.
Thank you. But it ain't just me that's done all the effort. Everyone that's come on has played a part as well. So there you go. Hello, Stella. Hello, Zoe. Hope you're well. Yeah, I can see you, Zoe. I can see your comments. Please do all subscribe as well if you haven't already, because we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I think we're on like almost 670 anyway. So there you go.
I love it.
I know. So how are you?
I'm doing so good. Today has been a little nutty. The rain, it's Florida. There's like the hurricane season. So there's been a lot going on. But I myself as a person am doing fantastic as usual.
Well, can you send the rain to England, please? Because it's been heat wave for the last, 2 weeks?
I'll do my best.
We are actually predicting thunderstorms tomorrow, so we'll see. Because it's too hot. It really is. It's too hot.
I love it.
But yeah, even though I'm supposed to be going camping tonight, but I chose not to. So really, I could have been doing this live from the tent. But
there you go.
That would have been interesting.
Yes, that would have been interesting.
So, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you, I'm not going to say impact, but how you benefit people's lives.
Yeah, so I own a company called Human Better 365. It is a human transformation company. I specialize in time management and organization. I believe that being able to manage your time is like the foundation of being a human, and not enough people know how to do that. If you kind of walk around the world, there's a lot of people just saying, there's not enough time. And that's just because of being able, lacking the ability to be able to manage it.
Exactly, and you're bang on there, because when people, it actually pees me off a little bit. Obviously, you're going to hear me say these kind of phrases, but it pees me off a little bit when people say, I haven't got time for this, I haven't got time for that. We all have time, because we're here, we're living, we're breathing. And if you can't make time, make it.
Yeah.
Make
100.
it.
100.
Even if it's like 5-10 minutes, it's not going to break the bank.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I really focus on is just bringing people back to the basics. And
Yes.
I also host a community called Her Nation. It's an all-female community based around females who are no longer living in victimhood. They are stepping into their power, their confidence, they're dropping the blame game, and they're really just
Mm-hmm.
stepping into who they are and using their power, their story as a powerful thing versus using their story to stay small.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to me, ego plays a massive part in that.
Mm. Yeah.
Ego. And I hate egos. I even though I used to have an ego myself,
Yeah, we all do.
people may say I still do, but hey, I'm working on it.
We all are.
We all are.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously people in the comments, please do bring your questions if you've got any. But mindset, I think what we should do is kickstart when it comes to the power of the mind. Is kickstart about talking about the difference between the conscious and the subconscious mindsets. But I think there's a third one as well, but I can't remember what that is.
Yeah. Most people just know it's there's so I don't even know sometimes. I feel
No,
like there's only two. Yeah, so the conscious mind is us right now.
exactly.
Yeah, us right now.
Yeah.
And your subconscious mind is your feelings, um a lot of times your triggers hang out in your subconscious mind. All of your stories, all of the victim mentality, um, your
Yeah, it all comes out.
thank you.
The subconscious mindset works the most when we're asleep. When we're asleep, because that it all comes flowing back, and this is why people experience insomnia, midnight trauma, all that, and that's when people journal the most. Is
Mm,
when everyone is asleep and it's a quiet house, and to be honest, it actually really works. It benefits.
yeah, definitely. A lot of our beliefs, a lot of our emotions, our habits, things that kind of come automatically. So the way that I a lot of times describe your subconscious, your unconscious mind is if you've ever been driving in a car in the passenger seat and the
Right.
person driving is driving a little too fast, coming up to a red light, and you press your right foot down on the passenger side, almost as if you're trying to put the brakes on, but there's no brake.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
So that would be your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, just automatically doing what it knows it should be doing without consciously recognizing that there is no break. So our, unconscious mind, they say, is 30,000 times more powerful than our conscious mind. It has most of the power.
yeah, yeah. I've definitely been in a car where there's like I say about 10 meters from where the car is to the traffic light. It's just going amber, and he starts speeding up, and
Yeah.
half the time he actually does go past the red. So it's like, but what triggers the most is when they're speeding to try and pass there, but he can't get there in time, and he turns on the emergency brake. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's like, come on.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. I
Yeah, so
know.
there's there if you really dig deep, there are books on the difference between the subconscious and the unconscious, but
Yeah.
most people kind of just group them together. The unconscious mind is like the deep down ancestral, like your past, your memories from when you were a little one. A
Hmm.
lot of times you don't even remember.
Yes.
So when people are looking at it on like a piece of paper, a lot of times it's shown as an iceberg. So the top of the iceberg, the part that you see is your conscious mind. That's like the most obvious. You know, you're looking around, you're being aware, you can hold conversations. Your subconscious is kind of like water level. And that's where your beliefs, your emotions, your values, intuitiveness, that's where that all kind of lies. And then your unconscious mind is way down deep into the ocean. And those are, you know, the recesses of your memory of your past.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is traumatic. It is. I'm dealing with my trauma at the minute, especially when I was a teenager. And I'm 32 going on 21. So
There you go. I love that.
exactly. Yeah, I may feel 21, but my body, no, twice my age.
Yes.
So, but yeah, it is, and this where action comes into it because we're quick enough when we're triggered or something like that. We're quick enough to come up with all these excuses to put off moving forward, and we're putting all these barriers in front of us. Because I now believe the biggest barrier in our lives is ourselves.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, definitely. And everyone's on their own healing journey. You know, I was just
Yeah.
talking to a mother a few months back, and she was talking about her daughter is like 28, 29. Her daughter just recognized that she's an empath, and she does this, you know, the freeze, flight, fight, the 3 Fs. Now there's a fourth one, fawn. And they got into this huge argument, and the daughter just left. And when they talked about it later, the daughter was like, I was in fight and flight mode, and it's not my fault because I was triggered. And I was trying to explain to her mom, yes.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to acknowledge the fight, flight, freeze, fawn,
Yeah.
and then stay present and not allow other people to control our state of mind. You know, the idea when you start to teach yourself these things is not to use them as an excuse. It's not to be like, well, I'm codependent, this is my issue, or yes, all of that. And we have to learn tools so that we can be present with anybody and everybody that comes in and out of our lives.
Yeah.
So not to give up our power, to always stay congruent with who we are. And sometimes you do have to exit situations. Yes. But
you do, especially on social media as well, and it's not just friends or work colleagues and stuff like that. It's family as well.
Mhm.
Now, the amount of family members I've cut out of my life, and you know what, I don't regret it. So to be honest, I don't have any regrets because I haven't got time for regrets.
Yes.
I have to say that.
Yes, 100. But the ideal is to be able to be present with most everybody. That's the ideal.
Exactly, because if they're judging you and bringing you down, then you have to question yourself, thinking, does this person actually value my community and value me?
Yeah.
And if not, then get rid.
Yeah. So you can always exit, right? But you don't want to ever lose your cool. You don't ever want to get to the point where you're just flying off the handle or stomping out of a conversation. You want to trust and use tools to be able to keep yourself calm while you exit situations in a very mature, calm way and keep your power. You know, when we let somebody else come in and give us attitude and, you know, berate us or whatever the things are that are happening to you, it's important for you to be able to control your own emotions. That's where the real power comes into play.
It's all about state of mind barriers.
I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Stella. I hope Andrew is okay as well, by the way. So yeah, And that's where action comes in, because we have to figure out who we are first. Focus on our own self-identity by practicing self-love.
Mm, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do for that? Like, for example, if you've come across an idiot that has tried bringing you down or tried controlling you.
Yeah. One of the things that we actually just talked about on Wednesday in one of my
Right.
groups is a tool that you can use called identifying the character.
Ah.
And what this is when somebody is coming into your world and causing chaos in your world, or what you would appreciate them to be doing, or you'd rather them to be doing something else, is to liken them or connect them with another character in the movie or in a cartoon. So we were kind of playing with this. We had everybody in the group pick a person that just drives you nuts. Your ex, your uncle, your mom, your boss, whoever it is. And everyone picked a character or picked a person. And then their job was to connect another character that is not intimidating, that is not frustrating, and connect them to that person. So we had people like Tinkerbell come up, or the teacher from Charlie Brown. So being able to associate that person with a little Tinkerbell that's like this little, that you can just kind of swat at, where she's just like, or Charlie Brown's teacher that's like,
Yeah.
and being able to associate that person with an obscure character that doesn't give you any sort of anxiety or stress or anything, and connecting those two together. So when you are confronted by that person, being able to kind of laugh or giggle to yourself because you're imagining them as someone else.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, we're all picturing someone. And this is why, obviously, I don't do it anymore, but everyone that has brought me down, I actually wrote their name on a little piece of paper and stuck it on the dartboard and started throwing darts in it.
There you go. There you
And
go.
that can happen, but obviously I've now learned another way where obviously you write that person who's brought you down in felt tip on a piece of paper, and you put it in some water, like screw it up and put it in water for about 5-6 minutes, and then obviously when you bring it out after that, you open it and the name's gone.
Yes.
The name's gone.
I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But it's all about taking your power back, and
Yes.
being able to really recognize, where are you capable of changing the storyline?
Of course. Of course. Yeah, obviously we've got something here. I'll try and lift them up at the same time. I lift myself as well.
That's a good one.
I like that one, Stella.
Yeah, that's a good one. 100%.
I really
And
do.
everybody is different, right? So that might work on some people and it might not work on other people. Like when I think of my ex, who is incredibly narcissistic,
Right.
that wouldn't necessarily work really well. But it might work on my boss, or it might work on my neighbor,
Come on, Sabrina, are you sure it's ex or is it wife, or why did you bother?
Good point.
Exactly. Exactly. Why is an ex an ex?
Good point.
Because ex always marks the spot, remember?
That's right.
Exactly.
Why would I
So,
good.
Exactly. Oh, she's going to steal that now. So yeah, I'd like to talk about that narcissistic behaviour, how you would try, if you don't mind.
Yeah, 100. What do you want to know?
Yeah, okay then. Yeah, because obviously I know people can be trapped in that cycle of a narcissistic behavior. Of obviously, it's not just the victim that is trapped, but obviously the narcissist is as well. Obviously, I'm not defending them because they shouldn't be like that. But what sort of mindset did you have going into that, like dealing with that behavior on a daily basis?
Well, when I first went in, I didn't know he was a narcissist. So,
Well, who does?
yeah. So, yeah, I just thought, well, narcissists are really good at blaming. So it was always my fault. So if he was
Mm,
mad or he was frustrated or he was irritated, it was because of me. And I needed to be better. I needed to do better. I needed to pick up the slack in whatever area was lacking or that he was complaining in.
yeah.
So I spent the first 8 years of our relationship just thinking I was just a shitty girlfriend
Yes.
until I read on Google one day that he was a narcissist. But
Wow.
yeah, he, the mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse was times 10. And then one day I was on the floor in the bathroom, just having a total mental breakdown, crying my eyes out, just so confused. And I did a Google search. I Googled, why is my boyfriend bullying me? Because I didn't know any other vernacular other than bully. I was just like, he's mean, he's a bully. And the entire world of narcissism just hit me right in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to change
Yeah.
a lot. I had to change me, right? You can't change other people. So, yeah,
No, 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 absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. So, yeah, you can change yourself, but you can't change others.
yeah.
And obviously, I've now learned when it comes to a narcissist, for them to change, they need to admit they've got a problem. And it's 9 times out of 10 they won't.
Yeah, narcissists don't do that.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's part of being a narcissist.
Exactly.
Is that too?
Exactly. They do the crime, then play the victim on it.
Yeah, they don't have any empathy. So they completely lack empathy. So they
Exactly.
don't understand that part. So when you're dealing with someone like that, it's you have to take control and exit or figure out how you're dealing with that situation. You can't expect them to do anything to change. It's all on you.
No. No.
So
No. I do understand. Like I don't know how, but I actually exposed one for who they really are,
mhm.
and it's just been all wow. It all just blew up
Yeah,
because they don't like being exposed.
yeah,
They don't,
yeah.
and I don't know how I did it, but in a way, I'm actually glad I did.
There you go.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, because what narcissists do is they prey on fear.
Mm,
They don't like coming across someone that isn't scared. They don't
yeah,
like it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with you for that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm actually congratulating you for actually breaking that cycle and finding the confidence and motivation to say, "I've had enough of this. I'm getting out," and you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, it took a long time. I had to save money. I had to open up a secret bank account. I had to start some online businesses in order to save money to leave because I had nothing. So it took me 4 years. I had to stay in that relationship for an extra 4 years before I left to collect some money, and then literally just ran away one day.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm proud of you for that.
Thank
I
you.
am. I am. So, so obviously, I don't like saying the word advice because I feel like that's telling someone what to do. But what sort of recommendations and suggestions would you give to someone that is still trapped in that situation?
First, do not tell the person that you are living with that you think they are a narcissist. That's the number one mistake people make. If you are living with that person, you do not want to tell them that you think anything. You have to keep that a secret because all hell is going to break loose if you start making associations like that. So that's the first and very most important one. And then the second one is, what's your plan? I mean, do you want to stay or do you want to go? Those are two totally different plans. You know, if you
Yeah.
want to stay, then there has to be boundaries that you put up in order to stay sane. And if you're deciding to go, then you need to make a plan on how to leave. You have to collect money. You have to if you're married, get a really good lawyer and figure things out. But, you know, it's, you're dealing with an entirely different breed of a person when you're dealing with a
Yes.
narcissist.
Yeah.
They're not normal people.
No. I'm normal. I'm not. I thought I had to give that. I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, most people have some sort of a heart, you know, some sort of a, you know, like they have a boundary. There's like a line where they're not going to cross it.
Yeah.
Narcissists do not have a line. They'll go
No.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only line they'll look at is their own,
Yeah.
which even you won't see it because
Yeah.
they'll go so far past it.
Yeah.
And yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you know what, Stella? Brilliant. Yeah, she was dealing with a narcissist as well, and it took her 2 months. So brilliant.
There you go. It takes time. Yeah. But you have to make a plan. Some people don't make a plan. They're just, you know, they get in a huge argument and then they look around, they have no money, nowhere to go. And so then they sit and then they love bomb you. So the cycle starts all over again. And then you're right back where you were with no money. You've made no plan. You don't have a job. And the cycle just keeps going over and over and over and over. So, you know, you have to start collecting money somehow.
Absolutely. It's only you that can break that cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's going to do it for you.
I opened up a secret bank account. I opened up a secret storage unit. I still remember when I did that, I was scared out of my mind.
Okay.
I was so scared that he would find out or that he was gonna, he had me convinced that he had a GPS on my car, a tracker. He had me convinced that he had a spy watching me all the time.
Manipulation, emotional manipulation.
Yeah. So what I did when I was first looking to start making a plan, in order to kind of call his bluff to see if he really did, is I actually lied a few times. Right before I opened up my secret bank account, my secret storage unit, probably about a month beforehand, I lied. So he called me, like just random. And he's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm at Target," but I was really at Walmart.
Yeah.
Just to see if he would know that I was lying. Because he said he had a tracker on my car. You know, so then a few days later, he calls me, he's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm at Wendy's," but I was really at like Chili's to see. And then when nothing happened and he didn't call me out on being a liar, I was like, he's not really tracking me. He doesn't have a spy on me. Those are all lies in order to control me this entire time. So once I knew for sure that he was not tracking me like he had me scared, thinking he was, not really scared. I never did anything. That's when I opened up my secret bank account, and that's when I opened up my secret storage unit.
Brilliant. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't have a response to that. I really don't. I'm just fascinated with your story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, you know, when you're dealing with those type of people. It's hard because when you are raised with morals and you're raised to not lie and to be loyal, the only way to get out of those situations is to lie and to be unloyal. That's the only way. There's no other way out. So you're really having to kind of bend your own character or your own morals in order to escape those sort of relationships. But if I wouldn't have done what I did, I would still be there right now.
Yeah. So what's your response to that?
He tried to be the victim that I left him with nowhere to go. That's what they do. Yeah. 100. Yep.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating, you know. So really recognizing, you know, for those that are listening that are dating, are not married, you know, really if you're not seeing eye to eye, if you're seeing some red flags, dip into that world of narcissism and see, because they're out there and they're
They are.
plain, they're everywhere and they're plain as day. You can't tell. There's no markings. They're normal people walking around. They look like you and I,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and they're basically the games begin behind closed doors.
Exactly.
It is because they act all nicey nice out in public, act all like they're in love and all that, but as soon as that front door closes, the
Yeah,
switch happens.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the mask comes off.
Yeah. You know, the very first, one of the very first things that should have been a huge red flag for me was when I first met him, probably about 6 months after I met him, he opened up an office for his business and I was helping him set up his furniture and stuff inside. And we were working till like 2 in the morning or something one day. And he asked me to vacuum one of the back offices. I go into the little pantry, little linen closet area, I get out the vacuum, I vacuum the office, I put the vacuum back. And like a couple minutes later, he screams my name. And I'm like, oh my gosh, something happened, something fell. And I go over, I'm like, what's going on? He's like, you vacuumed in the wrong direction. Re-vacuum.
Wow.
And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, everybody knows that you don't vacuum this way. You vacuum, like whatever his thought process was on that. He's like, re-vacuum the room. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to re-vacuum. The room looks fine first. Second of all, we're still going in and out of this room. So the vacuum lines don't even matter. And he's like, I just bought you dinner. And all I'm asking you to do is re-vacuum this room and you won't re-vacuum the room. Are you serious right now? Fine. I'll re-vacuum for you. Right? So guilt, strapping on, unloyal, you know, all the things, taking advantage, like I took food from him and now I won't do this little thing, even though I'm helping him, right? I stayed there until 2 a.m. helping him put all this stuff together. Anyways, I go into the other room, into the pantry to go get like a child, like I'm a little child. I go back into the linen closet. I grab the vacuum to go re-vacuum in the opposite direction, what I just did. And as I'm passing him in the hallway, I'm so mad. I'm like fuming mad. I allowed my shoulder to hit his shoulder as I was passing him. And he immediately, within a millisecond after I hit him with my shoulder, he slams me against the wall and he goes, if you want this relationship to turn into a violent relationship, all you have to do is do that one more time. I never touched him ever again after that. He never touched me after that. But that whole belittling of the vacuum was on a daily basis in all the areas of our life.
Wow.
Yeah. Where you just want to like punch him, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't his fault. It was, you don't know better. Everybody knows to vacuum that way. You're stupid. You know, so that's what it was with everything. The glass doesn't go there.
Gaslighting you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you don't know. Everybody else, every other girl would know this, but you're so dumb that you don't know it. So do it over again. It's horrible,
Wow.
you know?
It is.
But just not realizing it, like not knowing that that's what he was doing, just literally having me convinced that I just didn't know how to be a human. Like I didn't know how to do things, you know?
Yeah.
Insane.
I've literally got goosebumps.
That's heavy, but this is the type of stuff
It
that,
is heavy shit, yeah.
a lot of women are going through that. And a lot of it comes down to a lack of money and a lack of education, just not knowing.
Absolutely. But it's not just women that are going through it as well. Men are as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, men are. Yeah. And this is why we need more men to speak out.
I know.
If anyone's a victim of narcissistic behavior, please speak out.
Yeah. Agree.
Please speak out. Men or women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't know what to ask anymore. Oh, hang on a minute. Stella. I actually slapped the taste out of his mouth.
Wow. Well, good for you for doing that and him not reciprocating.
Yeah. Obviously, this is going to end up on Spotify, so I'll read the comment. Stella's put, yeah, I actually slapped the taste out of his mouth. It shocked him so badly. He left, and when he returned, he was very nice. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Stella.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you for this? Because I'm sure we can go more deeper than this.
Yeah. So my website is sabrinavictoria.com. All of the communities that I run are on there. My social media is on there. And, like I said, my story is, narcissistic abuse. That's the story that I tell. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. I got pregnant at the age of 20 with no husband. And because of that, I was shunned or disfellowshipped from my entire family, which left me totally isolated. And that's what left me open to be, victimized by a narcissist. I had nobody watching me or there for me or me to ask questions to in the very beginning when it was obvious that something was wrong, but I didn't know it was wrong. I had no one to talk to. So that's how he was able to get his claws in me. And then, over the years, the mental, emotional, sexual, and financial abuse just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then 8 years in is when I finally figured it out, when I was having that panic attack on the floor. And then for 4 years, I saved. I opened up that secret bank account. I started 3 online secret businesses. I collected $50,000. And just one random day, I took my son, our clothes, and my bicycle, and I started all over again in a new house with a mattress on the floor, and committed to sharing my story, committed to, in educating others, and creating a community of individuals who are there for each other,
Yeah. You should write a book surrounding this.
Yeah, it's in the works. It's on the bucket list.
We've all got a bucket list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think speaking more about narcissistic behaviour would actually really help, even if it's costing a panel show to talk about it. Obviously, I'm not a victim or anything like that, but I understand it. I understand it.
Yeah.
I've looked into it. So, and it is scary shit.
Yeah. Definitely, 100%. Yeah, so really just, continuing to educate people on the signs, continuing to educate people on the fact that you can get out if you create a plan, and learn to take your power back. And it does take some, you stepping out into something scary. It is scary,
Well, it is scary, and it may be hard for people because obviously, like you and Stella thought that these men were the one, the love of your life, the soulmate, the one you're gonna spend the rest of your lives with. But obviously, things change, and the truth always comes out. True colours always come out, and true identities. And I applaud you both for talking about this, especially you, Stella, because obviously she was with him 40 years,
Wow.
and that was it. She was saying, "I'm done." So 40 years is a very long time. So I applaud you for that one. So yeah, we do need to get this message out there. We really do.
Yeah. And speaking of mental health, which is your platform here,
Yeah,
when you're dealing with somebody like that, it's the heaviest on your mental health. They say
absolutely.
that, this abuse that people go through is connected to your physical health.
Yeah,
So, a lot of times people who are in these situations have physical ailments that they're dealing with because of that abuse, and they liken it to the is it the flower or the plant or something? Like one plant you say really good things and another plant you say really horrible things to, and the
I think
plant they
so. Yeah,
say, yeah, it's like a thing that's been done thousands and thousands and thousands of times, and people all over the world have tried it. And the consensus that continues to happen is the one that you say good things to flourishes, and the one thing that you say bad things to dies. And if it's that apparent in a plant, how much more apparent would it be within our bodies and the energetic, levels and vibrations that we have with each other? So, things like, I don't want to just start naming things off, but ailments that people have are a lot of times connected to that mental health.
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I want to thank you for coming on. I know we're just getting started with this, and there's a lot more you can talk about. So yeah,
Thank you.
anytime, anytime, and thank you for tuning in, Stella, as well. So yeah, let's get this shared, and to see if it resonates with anyone.
What did you say? Sorry.
I don't. Did I break up then?
Huh? Yeah, you did.
Oh, my signal. Uh, yeah, I said let's get this shared and see if it resonates with anyone.
I love it. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
100.
Right, okay, guys. I don't know who we've gone next week. So please tune in, and we'll see you again.
Yes.
See you later.
Adios.